So appreciate you guys tuning in. And sorry, one second. So I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I appreciate people watching this on the recording. I'm very sorry that we had to cancel this evening. We've made, every effort to keep sessions going during bad weather. But on this occasion, unfortunately, just a little bit risky, I believe. So we're going to take this opportunity. We're going to go through all of the second part of the mental performance stuff. So everyone should have completed their goal setting. Everyone should have written down what's, how's, and why's for this year. Should have handed them into my desk, and they're filed away. And as the year progresses, we'll start checking in on those and make sure that the training program, make sure that your behaviors and your actions, make sure the coaching that we're giving you is helping you move forward in line with those what, how, why goals. Now, after the what, how, why goals, we moved on to pre-shot routine. So a lot of you will have seen this presentation, but I'm going to shoot through it super quickly. There we go. So I'm going to shoot through this presentation really, really quickly, just as a review for either students that have watched it. So it's revision, so you can really understand how we coach pre-shot routine at Kohr and why we coach it in this way. And then for students who haven't seen it, this can be a great catch-up video for the rest of the year. So the goal of golf psychology is to get your thoughts and your feelings to match your intention. So a lot of people, when they stand on this tee, they'll have thoughts of don't hit it in the water. They'll have thoughts of don't make bogey. They'll have thoughts of, can I continue to hold this position on the leaderboard? And those are all outcome thoughts. And the problems with outcome is that we cannot control them. So if we try and control something that we cannot control, we'll feel stressed. And then we'll be further away from our intention if we want to win, if we want to have fun, if we want to hit good shots, if we want to make birdies. If we are thinking of those things, if we are thinking of outcomes, the feelings in our body will be stressed and will be further away from our intention, because ultimately we cannot control that outcome. But what we can control is the process. So the process is the steps in our pre-shot routine. The process is the things that we can control. And we'll go into those in a second. But as a human, if you feel in control, that's going to help your body relax. And if you're relaxed, less tension in the body, less tension in your hands, clearer focus, that's going to allow you to make a better golf swing, because the mind moves the body moves the club, and the club moves the ball. So every great golf swing starts with our mind. And it's very likely, if you have a process focus, focusing on the simple steps that you can control, that will lead to better golf swings, because your mind will be clear, your body will be relaxed, and that will get you closer to your intention of hitting good shots, closer to your intention of winning, closer to your intention of having fun. Okay, so don't take my word for it. Let's watch this video. And this is Jordan Spieth going through what we call at Kohr OSVEA. So the controllable steps to our pre-shot routine: shot options, shot selection, shot visualization, shot execution, and shot acceptance. So let's watch this and let's really listen to what Jordan Spieth does in his pre-shot routine.
Is off and kind of stand back behind the ball, kind of in line with it like this, and say I'm going to go and just stick with the same target over the red pole. And so I'll stand kind of back here and I'll kind of think, am I going to, you know, if I'm going to hit a high straight ball, I kind of get the motion right here, what straight is, right? Kind of 2 or 3 little practice swings, not swinging too hard. Just get the motion. If I'm going to hit more of a fade, I'm kind of slowing it out. It's a little difference in those 2 swings, just to kind of get that motion. I step back, and you try and see the shot. So I normally stand kind of in this position, look at where that ball is going to travel up in the air, where it's going to drop, the depth that it's going to land. Is it going to fly that bunker out there? Is it going to land just right at it, just left of it? And then from there, I step in, still kind of eye on the target, set the club down right where I want it to be started. Sometimes I bob my head too much. I've seen that, but all in all, you'd like to kind of just get set up in a nice, comfortable, powerful position, pointed at that target with that same swing that you just rehearsed.
So there we have a very, very detailed video that shows Jordan Spieth, not only his physical steps of the pre-shot routine, going through his selection. So if he was going through his selection, we might see that as a physical action, as him reading a yardage book or talking to his caddy, pointing out things in the distance. Visualization. The physical step is we might see the practice swing, feeling the shot. We might see someone like Jason Day close their eyes because they're visualizing the shot. Then execution. The execution of the shot, the physical movement is the swing, but where do you place your mind as you're having that swing? What are you focused on? So we can see there, Spieth in his visualization feels the shot, imagines where the ball's going to land and feels the shot. And then as he's going to hit the shot, he's simply trying to make the same swing as the practice swing. So trying to recreate the feeling of a practice swing is far, far easier than trying to hit a shot to win $2.5 million or a green jacket or whatever it might be. So Spieth's mind is taking golf and distilling it down to the most simple processes, simple things that he can control. Okay, and that's what he does through using his OSVEA. Now, the reason it works, part of your brain is a calculator, part of your brain drives movement, and part of your brain is designed to think negatively. So part of your brain is designed to tell you no. So when we go through our OSVEA, every single one of these steps goes into the correct part of the brain. So when we look at our shot options, and then we select one, that stimulates the calculator part of the brain. Then when we visualize, we take the data that's in the calculator and we turn it into movement through visualization. And the golf swing is a range of movement. So it's scientifically proven that through visualizing, we will make better golf swings. The golf swing is a range of movement, and visualizing helps us move. So seeing the shot, feeling the shot, or hearing the shot is going to help you play golf to a higher level. And then what do we have to do? We have to silence the chimp. The chimp is designed to make us think negatively. So when we cross a road, we look both ways because we're worried that a car's coming. If we're going to change a light bulb in the house and we have to use a ladder, we get someone to hold the ladder because the chimp says you might fall off the ladder, you need help. So the chimp is a good thing for keeping you alive. When you guys drive, it's going to make you stop your car at red lights because the chimp is going to tell you danger is there, stop the car. So it's great for keeping us alive. but unfortunately it screws up our golf because it might treat a 2-foot putt the same way as it treats a dangerous situation like crossing the road. So what we have to do is we have to learn to silence the chimp. And that's why you need something to focus on over the golf ball, something to distract the chimp, something that you can control to calm your mind. Okay. So what we have done from there is at Kohr, if I just stop my share and go here and bring this up. And then I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, what we've done at Kohr is we have asked students to hit shots thinking out loud. So this is one of the best ones that we've had so far. This is Charlie. And Charlie does a great job of checking off all the OSVEA, all the components. And he does a great job talking out what he's focusing on as he's going through each step of his routine. So let me play this for you.
Okay. I'm going to start us having options, figuring out what option I have. 172 yards, not much elevation or wind. I'm going to select a 6-iron because it carries about 168. And it should roll out 172. My next step is visualization. So I like to see the shot I'm going to hit. Usually a little draw to this pin that works. So I'm going to try and do my stock shot, a little draw. Next, what I do is I like to take a practice swing where I see where the ball goes based on that swing. And then what I do next time is I try and actually feel like I'm hitting the shot. And what I can do from that is I can use that practice swing and try and repeat it on the real shot. Okay. I think
So just tell us, why did you turn around so quickly?
I didn't want to see the result because I'm trying to guess how well I repeated my practice swing. So I think in that one, I did a pretty good job repeating my practice swing.
Awesome. So your definition of success, it's not where the ball goes. It's not what you shoot.
Yeah.
It's if you can control the connection between the practice swing and the execution.
Yeah.
So give us a grade out of 10.
I would say 8.5.
8.5. So if you were on the golf course now, your only job on your next shot, 8.75.
Okay.
Then 9.
Yeah.
And then if you have a real bad one, 5. Okay, I've just got to beat that on the next go.
Okay.
All right. So control what you can control using the post-shot routine to give yourself a grade for your pre-shot routine.
Okay.
Good job.
So we can see there that Charlie does a great job of talking his routine out loud. Okay, I have these options. I'm going to select draw because draw is the shot that I like and it matches this flag. Now I'm having a small practice swing where I feel what I want to feel in my swing. I come back, I look at the target. Now I have a full practice swing where I really try and hit the shot and then I see the ball fly after the shot. Now I come back, look at the target, walk into the ball, try and repeat the practice swing. So very, very good routine from Charlie. And everyone has been asked to do that. And consistently, we're going to ask all of you to talk your routine out loud. And what we're asking for, we're not asking for you to share your physical movements when you have a practice swing. We're asking for you to be able to tell us where your focus is as you're going through that routine. So the first task that we did is we learned what OSVEA was, and we learned that this is the process that we have to focus on in tournaments. The next thing we did was we did OSVEA, thinking out loud. So you just saw a great video of Charlie thinking out loud. Now what we've started to do is we've started to play sim golf, but before every time that you've played, we have asked you to write out your OSVEA. So before every time we've competed, no matter what group it's been, we've asked you to write down your OSVEA. And we've worked with you on helping you make this a habit. So every time you've hit a competitive shot during simulator golf, you've had to stop and you've had to look back at your whiteboard at your OSVEA. Then the final step for this is we're trying to practice this. We're trying to practice our OSVEA because we want to make it a habit. But when we go into competition, when you play your first tournament, you're going to set process goals. And then after the round or even during the round, you're going to grade your process. So before you play in a tournament, you will have to write down, okay, I'm going to select smart targets on approach shots away from the pin. I'm going to play away from danger. I'm going to play away from the pin. When I visualize, I am going to be feeling the shot, or I'm going to be seeing the shot. I'm going to be hearing the shot, or I'm going to be walking to the ball, holding a picture of the target in my mind, or I'm going to be walking to the ball, imagining the ball fly. Whatever it is, execution. I'm going to think about balance as I swing the club. I'm going to think about tempo. I'm going to think about the target. I'm going to think about shot shape. I'm going to be exhaling through some breath work that I've done with Coach Ian, whatever it might be. And then you go into a tournament and you have your process goal for this. 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 And then look, maybe you even have one between shots. Maybe you even have a process goal for your warm-up. But what you will then do is you will give yourself a grade after the round, or after every hole, or if you want to, after every shot. But if we do this, if we practice, or if we understand, if we really understand the power of a process focus, and we know what OSVEA is, which most people will from this video. If we then practice thinking out loud, this trains our focus. We are training our mind to focus on the right mental steps at the right time. Steps that stimulate the calculator, steps that stimulate movement, and steps that keep the chimp quiet. So when we practice, if we can buy into this concept of thinking out loud during our routine, we will become more process focused. And then we're more likely to get our thoughts and feelings to match our intention. But what we have to do is we have to make it a habit. So even though it's tedious, every time you play sim golf, we make you write out your OSVEA. And then we're trying to put you under pressure and stress during practice so that you've written out your OSVEA, you're focused on your OSVEA, you're learning to practice this, you're applying it in the environment that you're going to need it. And then finally, we then need this habit to turn up in tournament play. It's no good if you look at Charlie's routine, if he does a great job of that when he's thinking out loud, and then if he does a great job of that in sim golf, and then when he gets to a tournament, he completely forgets about it and gets mad because he makes a bogey. That's no good. That's not what we want. And even some of you, when you play sim golf, we see you forgetting about your OSVEA and starting to focus on the outcome. And that's not what we want. We're trying to create habits that will help you get your thoughts and feelings to match your intention, help you relax and be a happier golfer. And over 10 rounds of golf will improve your score. So anyone watching this, any parents that have watched this, please make sure that your child understands what OSVEA is, that they've had some time practicing it, thinking aloud, and that we've tested them under pressure. If we haven't, reach out to me and we'll make sure they get this training. Please, if you're a student watching this, please check that you know everything about OSVEA that we've presented. Please make sure that we have a Think Aloud video and you know what you're working on in your routine. Please buy into the concept of writing this out before you play sim golf. And when we move outside and we do performance games, we're going to hold you accountable for this, setting process goals, writing out your OSVEA there. And please, when you go into tournaments, make every effort to focus on this. You only have to beat one person when you play golf, and that is yourself. And the way to beat yourself, the way to control your mind under pressure and stress, is to know what OSVEA is, to have practiced it, and for it to become a habit. So if you're 6 under par, you're focused on your OSVEA. If you're 6 over par through 2 holes, you're focused on your OSVEA. If you're under pressure because your game's starting to get a bit rusty and you're near the finish line and you're near the lead, focus on your OSVEA. If you're playing the best golf of your life and you're about to shoot your record score, focus on your OSVEA. Nothing changes. The situation that you're in may change, but the task never changes. The task is to focus on your OSVEA. And that's what we're trying to train you to do. So last of all, let's share my screen again. Now, let's watch Spieth, because as some of you will know, it doesn't always go according to plan, not even for the best players in the world. So remember, we watched this video and we pretended that we were Jordan Spieth, sports psychologist. So what went wrong for Spieth? Let's try and understand why Spieth didn't win the Masters when he had a 54-hole lead.
Yeah, I mean, I learned what I learned in 2014, and it's just stay committed on 12. It's a 150-yard shot, and I feel like I can bleed it next to the hole. And it's a stock 9-iron for me, but that hole, for whatever reason, just it has people's numbers. So stay committed behind the bunker. It was really one swing. 10 and 11, you can take bogeys there. I was still 2 under for the tournament with a couple par 5s left. My goal for the day was 4 under. So we were still right on pace. I just didn't take that extra deep breath. Michael said, hit it right here, hit it right here. And I remember just getting over the ball thinking I was going to go ahead and hit a little cut to the hole. And that's what I did in 2014. And it cost me the tournament then too. That was strike club. It's just the wrong shot. I was more comfortable hitting a draw with my irons. And I knew that every time I had played fades this week, that shot kind of came out. And, I just, at the time, you're going to throw all bad swings away and you're just going to focus on how confident you can step into that shot. And that's what I did, but the swing just wasn't quite there to produce the right ball flight. So, ultimately, I should have just played a draw on that hole.
So let's have a look. Let's have a look at where Spieth broke down. So the caddy and the player, there's the physical action we talked about. They're looking at their yardage book. So we know they're looking at their shot options. They're talking about hitting fade or hitting draw. They select draw. Michael said, hit it right here, hit it right here. Now, Spieth at this point is focused on the draw. So we know from his process, he visualizes the draw, he feels the draw, and he has his eye on the target where the ball's going to drop, this big blue arrow. Now, as he walks to the ball, what does Spieth do? The chimp comes in and he changes his mind. Hey, your target is 4 under for the day. You're now only 2 under. Just hit a fade. Just try and make a birdie. Hey, Danny Willett's only 2 strokes behind. Outcome. And it's these outcome thoughts that add pressure and stress and make him try to hit fade. He broke process. If he'd have stuck with the draw, things may have been okay. Or if he'd have backed off, reset, gone through his options and selection again and revisualized, that would have been a better process to go through. But ultimately, Spieth had a target of 4 under. Now, for any core player, that's not what I want. I don't want anyone to have a target score when they go into a tournament, because you cannot control that. You cannot control score. When a core player goes and plays, their main focus is the processes within their OSVEA. And if you practice these talking out loud, if you understand this presentation, if you can train your mind in the pressure of performance games during practice to focus on these steps, you're building habits that will help you control your focus when you're under pressure on the golf course. So that's what we've been working towards. Again, a big reminder, you should all understand this presentation. Everyone should know what OSVEA stands for. Everyone should know T plus F equals I. Thoughts plus feelings equals intention. If you have that baseline knowledge, then we start training you to hit golf shots thinking aloud. Now, once you can hit golf shots thinking aloud, and myself and the coaches are happy with where you place your focus at each time, we believe it's the right focus for you as an individual, because everyone's will be different within these steps. But if you know where you place your mind, just like Charlie does, if you know where you place your mind at the right times in your routine, then we have to try and train it under some pressure and stress. That's why we play competitions. That's why we play games. That's why we have outcomes. That's why we make crazy rules. That's why we play sim golf, because we want to put pressure and stress on you. We want to see you break away from your OSVEA and get outcome focused, so we can teach you in training and in practice to not do that, and give you interventions, give you strategies that can help you maintain your focus under the pressure of tournament play. So this year, guys, process. Before tournaments, before some tournaments, there's going to be Zoom calls like this, and we'll set process goals together. On the golf course, have your process goals written down, just like we're teaching you to in training. Write them down. Have them like cheat sheet, like notes. You can put them in your yardage book. At any point, you can look at these to remind you of where you need to place your mind to feel relaxed, feel in control, and get the most out of your golf swing. So good job so far this year. If anyone feels they have gaps in their knowledge from OSVEA or this presentation, if anyone hasn't done their Think Aloud video, if anyone isn't writing down their OSVEA or their process goals before they play sim golf or performance games, let me or your coach know, because these are the things that are vital to get you prepared for tournaments. So if anyone's missing any knowledge, reach out to me and we'll make some special arrangements at the next training sessions to put you through some things that you may have missed. That's it from me. I hope this helped review, and I hope it creates some inspiration and some motivation for maybe when you're practicing at home to spend a little bit more time hitting shots, thinking aloud, working on your OSVEA and working on your processes. Okay, guys, everyone have a great evening. I'm sorry we had to cancel the golf portion. I just think the weather was a little bit too bad for once, but appreciate you joining in, whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching on YouTube. Have a great evening, and hopefully tomorrow's session will be a go. Thank you, guys.